Now, not only are Disney and Lucasfilm currently focused on Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker 2 live-action TV series, as well as the Clone Wars Season 7, but they're also using the new Star Wars trilogy as their priority, also known as the fourth trilogy by the creators of Game of Thrones, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about this film that a lot of people are really looking forward to is, of course, exactly what they plan to do with these movies that are really going to take Star Wars in a different direction, which, by the way, is, of course, the big plan by Disney and Lucasfilm is to change the Star Wars franchise after the Skywalker saga ends. Now, what's really interesting about the fourth trilogy is that it's described that Disney and Lucasfilm are aiming to use the fourth trilogy to take the Star Wars franchise in a brand new direction, where it said that next generation CGI technology will be applied to the films to deliver ultra realism. It said that a new type of motion capture technology will be applied to many of the planned techniques that will be used in the film in order to deliver an experience that no films have done before. It's described that they are looking to begin casting for the first film of the new trilogy by fall of 2019, while the script is being finalized, and that they plan to use some actors and actresses from the hit TV series Game of Thrones. Makes sense. It said that the films will be heavy on Jedi and Force lore, and will have connections to the Skywalker saga. It said that there is a plan in place in order to bring back at least one familiar character to the films that will loosely connect it to the Skywalker saga movies. Additionally, it's described that they plan to move their studios away from Pinewood for at least one of the films. So, I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that the fourth trilogy is a very important film, not just for Disney and Lucasfilm, but also for the Star Wars, community. A lot of people are looking forward to seeing exactly what Disney and Lucasfilm have in store after the Skywalker saga is over. Now, say what you will about The Last Jedi, I know that there are a lot of people out there who have problems with the movie, including myself, but one thing I will say is that there's still a good chance that the fourth trilogy could actually be a great trilogy. We have heard all these different reports about them trying to aim it towards the Old Republic era, which I think is going to work perfectly. You guys may have heard those reports a couple of weeks ago. Everybody was talking about it. And that would only make a whole lot of sense because we do know that they are aiming to really use this trilogy to focus on the Jedi and Force lore and keep it within the mythology of the Star Wars franchise. So additionally, what's really intriguing though is that they will be using next generation technology in order to deliver ultra realism CGI. So, like I say, this means that they're going to be using more examples of what we saw in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, like with Tarkin and Leia and stuff like that. All of these characters being recreated. So they're going to use that technology in order to create new characters that are human-like, where they can do crazy things with those characters and do different stunts if stuntmen aren't able to do that. The possibilities really are endless now. And the other thing is that they're using next generation motion capture technology as well. So these movies really do have potential to really not just evolve the Star Wars franchise, but to also evolve the whole entire, business of Hollywood, how they make movies and the technology that they use. So, like I say, we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm are working very closely as we speak with David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. They are all done with Game of Thrones. They are now primarily focused on Star Wars, and that's exactly what they are dedicated to. In case you guys did not know, there is a summit that will be taking place next month of May between both Rian Johnson, David Benioff, D.B. Weiss, and Kathleen Kennedy. In case you guys did not know, there are two new Star Wars trilogies coming. We have the Rian Johnson trilogy, and we have the other trilogy, which is the one that I am personally looking forward to, is of course the one by David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. So this really does interest me a lot how they plan to bring back at least one familiar character into this new trilogy in order to really loosely connect it to the Skywalker saga. Could it be Yoda? Could it be Chewbacca? The possibilities really are endless when it comes to some of those characters. So, like I say, guys, a lot of people, get confused all the time when we say the end of the Skywalker saga. A lot of people believe that, it means the end of Star Wars forever. Nope, that's not the truth. This is just the beginning, and that they are just kind of just starting to shift away from the Skywalker saga and focus on something entirely new, which honestly, guys, we'll have to see if this works or doesn't work. It really is a gamble. because if you're doing something that's not focused on the Skywalker saga, it really does have to be above and beyond, right? It really has to be almost flawless. It has to be a great movie. It has to have great storytelling and writing, great characters that a lot of people are going to attach themselves to. And I think that as long as they can do that, then and only then will these movies really work. It really has to stand on its own and almost feel like an instant classic. It can't feel like just, trying to do something what George Lucas did right off the bat and just trying to recapture that moment just for the sake of it. They really have to come up with these great ideas in order to make it feel true. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.